question number 7. So now they're going to ask us the meaning of percentiles, like what's it all about, what's it for kind of questions. So here we go. Suppose you take a standardized test and you are in the 12th percentile. What does this percentile mean? What does it mean if you're in the 12th percentile? You take a test and you get in the 12th percentile. Well, remember what? So this is all about percentile and its meaning. So if you get in the 12th percentile, remember what percentile is. It's a ranking from 0% to 100%, right? That's what percentile is. It's a ranking system where we put the lowest score here at 0% and the high score at 100%. And we just tell everybody where they rank percentage-wise compared to the other people in the class. So if you got in the 12th percentile, you got pretty low. You're about right there, 12% of the way along, right? You're just 12% of the way along. So let's see, what does that mean? 12% of the scores were your score or lower. Is that right? Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly what it means. 12% of the people got right in this zone right here. Whoops, it's not what I meant to do. Got right in that zone. 12% of the class got right in that zone. That's the bottom 12% of the class on the quiz. So if you're at the 12th percentile, then 12% of the scores were your score or lower. Why are the other answers wrong? 12% of the scores were higher? No. Most of the scores were higher than your score. You scored 12% lower than the class? No. The average is here. No. You scored 12% higher? No. That's all below. Let's try the next one. Can you say that you failed the test? So if you got at the 12th percentile, does that mean you failed the test? Well, this is actually a tricky question. It's going to be no, since you scored, wait, no, it's not that kind of no. It's this one. It depends on how the rest of the class scored. If the scores were really low in the exam, it is possible that I got a passing score. No, that's not true. It's this one. It depends on how the rest, if the scores were really high, then it's possible, yeah, this is the right answer right here. Now, why? Well, if you got it to 12th percentile, that doesn't mean you failed. Maybe you got a 70% on the exam. And people just did great. Like a bunch of people got 80s and 88, almost the whole class got, 90s and 100% and 99 and stuff like that. Maybe you got set, maybe most of the class did 70% or better, right? They just did better than you, but you still passed. Just because you're at the 12th percentile, it just means that 12% of the class did worse than you, but you still might have passed if the scores were really high, right? If people did really, really well on that exam, then maybe almost everybody passed. And even though you're near the bottom of the class, right, you're in the bottom 12%, you still passed. It could mean that. It just depends on how the class did as a whole. Does that make sense? The point of that question is to show you that a percentile ranking is not the same as an absolute score. It doesn't mean you got 12% of the questions right on the exam. That's not what it means. You might have got a 70%. You might have got a 75. It just means you're in the bottom 12% of the class. But if the class did really well and almost everybody passed, you might have passed. That's possible. So that's what it means.